Well, this is not something I've laid hands on. This is literally me searching for the new stuff.
I'm Ryan Gresham, and this is Gun Talk Nation. All right, welcome into Gun Talk Nation. This Gun Talk Nation brought to you by Smith & Wesson, Tipton, Range Ready, and Colt. Today on Gun Talk Nation, we've got our good buddy, Nick Collier, all the way from snowy, icy Kentucky, right, man?
It is the frozen tundra of Lexington, Kentucky right now.
Dude, you guys, like that Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas is like the ice belt to me.
Right. I think it's just where everything kind of changes over from the north to the south, and we get stuck. And about every 5 years, we get a crazy, half inch thick ice storm all over everything. It's nuts.
So for those listening, you may have seen and heard Nick around. He's been in the gun industry for let's be honest, a couple decades, right?
Sorry.
And he helps us a little bit behind the scenes with some things too. So you probably see some of his top 5 writings on guntalk.com. He's the deal guy too, by the way, everybody. If you haven't been paying attention to great deals that Nick goes out and finds, like seriously, it's legit. He works and he finds this stuff.
That's right. So, I try not to waste anybody's time. I realize there's a lot of clickbait out there. Save money, but I've been around long enough to know when ammo's cheaper than it should be, or inflated.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I try to help.
Yeah,
everybody.
we kind of haven't we don't tell people this stuff, but we have like these internal discussions. I'm like, no, I mean there's the whole normally $600 and it's marked down to $300 for this gun, and you and I know that's BS. That gun is normally $300, or sometimes you're like, actually, that's a really good price.
Yeah, it does happen, and when it does, I try to tell everybody that, hey, this is it. This is a good deal, like a great deal. I try to make it a big deal if it's a great deal.
Because most people, and you guys, you and I are in this boat in the gun industry. We're actually like gun enthusiasts. We're shooters. We're hunters. We're into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you guys we've been working a lot with Mac and SDS and those guys lately, but I've known Gaines for a long time, and all this whole process as he's been helping SDS kind of get these guns out, we've been talking, and it's really cool to get to be on that side of it too.
Yeah. So what I thought we'd do today for everybody listening, I thought we would, because we are recording this on the 15th of January, and we'll be posting this in a day or so. I'm leaving for SHOT Show in a few days. SHOT Show, of course, most of you guys know, but it's the big convention for the gun industry. It's when all the new stuff comes out. And so the companies have started releasing their new stuff. They really start, I guess they're kind of all year long, but a lot of it's like right after New Year's Day. Here we go. New launch, new product launch. So in case you have a real job and you haven't been paying attention to all this crap, Nick and I are going to go through. We're just going to highlight some interesting ones that are out there, and kind of let you know and kind of comment on them. Is it cool? Not cool? Hot? Not hot? I don't know. What would the cool podcast call it?
That's good. Hot, not hot.
Tactical, Tactadrool. I don't know. We're not going to do that.
There you go. Thumbs up.
Have the editors edit in some really cheesy animation. No. Okay. Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. So you want to go back and forth? How do we want to do this, Nick?
I think that would be good enough, don't you?
All right. So I've got a stack of press releases and stuff that gets sent to me, and so I'll start out slow. Let's just warm up here.
Okay. Let's not get crazy. All right.
Don't get crazy. But you'll also get a little inside scoop into some of this if you're listening. So Weaver. People know Weaver Optics, Weaver Scope Rings. You may or may not have noticed that in the last, year or two, you haven't been seeing that stuff out there. Part of the reason for that is Weaver is owned by Vista Outdoors, who became Revelyst, who now they got bought and sold. There's been a lot of mergers and acquisitions happening in some big corporate conglomerations. But here's the behind the scenes story. RCBS got purchased by Hodgdon. RCBS, what do they make? They make reloading stuff and presses. Well, they're really good at making metal things, and I hope I don't get in trouble for kind of letting everybody know how the sausage is made, but RCBS makes the Weaver rings. Okay.
What?
What? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
What?
There's a lot of incestuous manufacturing happening in the gun industry. Nick can vouch for that.
This is true.
A lot of people making each other's things. Sounds
putting
dirty.
each other's names on it.
But they've come to an agreement where RCBS is going to be making Weaver rings, bases, and mounts. So they're back in production and shipping to shooters and hunters worldwide. So that's good news.
Yeah, and RCBS is a good brand. So, I mean, you would think that because Weaver was always kind of a mid grade, right? I mean,
yeah, it's a mid grade. It's not super cheap. It's not super fancy, but I love this for exactly that reason, right? It's kind of a mid grade. Hey, I just need some dang scope rings and a mount. I'm not trying to shoot a mile, but I'm trying to mount a scope and shoot a deer at 150 yards. They work. They're great.
All day.
Yeah. So when you've already spent $500 to $1,000 on a gun and $500 to $1,000 on a scope, now I'll say this: don't you go buy some cheap scope rings and then you're like, I don't know why I can't hit anything. Well, that could be penny wise and dollar foolish.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to scopes and mounts and things of that nature, that is not where you want to skimp. No. Because, like you said, especially if you're going to try and shoot anything outside of 200 yards.
Yeah. But anyway, that's just something kind of like we're going to start slow and work our way up. Nick, what do you have?
Well, as you stated, we are hunters and we are shooters. So my first item is not necessarily a gun. It's not a gun at all, actually. It's the Browning Defender Vision Pro live stream game camera.
What?
Did you hear what I said?
I didn't see that coming.
I got 5 here, cards.
He's got cards. For you who's watching at home, he's doing the David Letterman top 5.
Do the top 5 David Letterman. Browning Defender Vision Pro live stream game cam. So they have a live stream game camera. That's crazy, right? Because you get the pictures sent to your phone now, which is next level to me. My father-in-law has 5 or 6 of them at our farm.
Yeah, your phone's going off all the time. Look at that turkey. Look, squirrel.
Yep. A lot of birds. But I mean, you think 3rd and 4th dimensional with this stuff. You know, you could use these if you're not around your property and you wanted something you could see immediately. You wouldn't necessarily have to pay ADT or something like that to monitor. This is just a live stream. It uses AT&T or Verizon SIM cards and it sends it straight to your phone.
And so you could just tune in and watch?
You can, just like the people are right now. They can tune right in and see who's at their barn or if it's a cat or, whatever. So I think that's pretty cool, though, because our deer are nocturnal, a lot of them. And, if you could catch some live and kind of check them out and see what they're doing about when.
Let me go ahead and just get right in front of what people are thinking right now. You better check your game laws if you start using this as a real-time scouting tool. Let's run over to this feeder thing.
True.
Check your game laws and try to do this the right way.
Yeah, dude, I'm not saying breaking the laws here. All I'm saying is you're know when they're passing through.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Your pattern. But you're right. We should clarify. Because somebody's going to say.
You sit at the camp, you drink beer until the camera goes off.
That's right. You jump in your truck and drive around.
Don't do that.
I mean, no, that's not it.
No one's ever done that before. All right. I don't know if you've seen this one yet, Nick. It's the EOTech Voodoo 3-9 by 32 SFP. They literally just launched it. It is a super short rifle scope. So EOTech has the Voodoo line of rifle scopes. This one is a 3-9 power, but it's a 32 objective lens, so it's smaller.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, how small is it, Ryan? Well, it's a second focal plane. The entire scope is 6.5 inches long.
So this is like when it's really cold out and you get your scope out.
Your Your scope has shrinkage.
Yeah. That's crazy though. I mean, to have a 3-point scope that small.
Dude, it's really a compact package. Quarter MOA adjustments, illuminated reticle with 10 brightness settings with a CR 2032 battery, roughly 300 hours of operation. Compatible. This is kind of neat, okay? It comes with an integrated base. So because you look at it and you go, where am I going to put rings on this thing? Well, it has a base like an ACOG. It's an integrated base that's also compatible with any aftermarket mini ACOG mounts. So that's cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then if you want a non-magnified solution, EOTech is offering a version that includes a ring mount that you can add an E-Flex red dot to. So it can be mounted to the front of the tube section, positioned right on top, or at a 45 degree.
So you get your dot and your magnification.
Yeah.
All in a 6-inch package.
Yeah. Really cool.
That's incredibly impressive. I mean, I kind of want to hold it and see how heavy it is, how it feels. That's got to be thick.
You guys will have to check it out. But that one I was like, ooh, that's really neat. Because
that's something
I like
different.
to keep things simple, keep it small. Again, a 3 to 9 power for fitting it on a smaller gun. Lever guns are super popular right now. I could see that being kind of a nice package for that.
Yep. I agree.
All right.
I agree. I think that's going to be cool. What did they happen to list the price for that by any chance? MSRP?
I think it's like $1,000.
Okay.
Their scopes are not inexpensive.
No, they're not. But I like to, that's one thing I did not tell you is they did not list a price for this that game camera. So it just says coming soon, pre-order through your dealer. So those of us that have been around a while know that can mean they've got it ready, or we'll see it 3 years from now. So
you never know. Don't get too excited. Really know. We should have given that disclaimer up front. Don't get all worked up and go on and try to buy it, because some of this new stuff is not actually available.
That's right. But I've got dates for everything that is. Okay. So this one, that's out of here. Here we go. Right. Number 2. This company, I'd heard of the guy who owns it, but I'd never heard of this side of it. Dark Mountain Arms. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Okay, so the guy that started it also does the little 22 life card. Have you seen the little folding 22 pistol? Same guy. Okay. Yeah. This is called the Stowaway. And there's 3 versions of it right now. But you got to think wilderness survival rifle, the AR-7, that kind of that style, kind of like Savage has one now that's real skeleton. It's that, but it's in a 5.7 by 28.
Ooh.
And it's a bolt action. So,
wait a minute. Dude, we had the 5.7 Fest last year, and I tried to find somebody that was doing it in a bolt gun, and everybody was like, no, it just doesn't work in a bolt gun.
Well, this is not something I've laid hands on. This is literally me searching for the new stuff. So I'll be honest with you. But what's this caught
Dark Matter?
Dark Mountain Arms.
Oh, Mountain. Dark Mountain. Yep. Okay.
And it's called a Stowaway, and they've got a Stowaway carbine, a Stowaway pistol, and then they have also a Stowaway pistol with a 1913 rail, so you can put a folder on it and a brace, or just put the brace straight on.
That's
so cool. 2.8 pounds, 5.7 bolt action, $399 retail.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The pistol version with no rail, 2 pounds, $379. And then the version with the 1913 rail on the back, so you can put your own brace, folder, whatever you want, 2 pounds, $399. And here's what I saw. I went and kind of did a search on their social media, and they are releasing a 9mm version of that gun the end of this month, January 31st. So the carbine and the pistols in 5.7 are available right now. And at $400, that's worth trying.
Yeah.
And they're threaded barrels, so you can put a suppressor on them if you want to. Let's see. The overall length on them was 32 inches on the carbine and 11.5 inches on the pistol. So literally, it's just barely bigger than your big 44 Magnum.
So it's a pistol, but this is a carbine type deal where you would put a brace on it, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's small enough that you could shoot it offhand or, without a brace of any kind, but at 2 pounds, I mean, that's not that big a gun. But
That's
it does
interesting.
definitely, I think it would definitely help to have a
Yeah.
brace or get the carbine and get the stock. Because
Put a
I think
little
that'd be,
folder brace
yeah,
on it.
yeah. I mean, you're looking the barrel 16.65 inches, I think, on the carbine. So the action is just shorter than that. And you can put
Yeah.
that in a backpack, you know?
Heck yeah. That's
So
neat.
that one was cool. That was like, I might have to look into that further. So
You'll stow
dark
your pistol. Is that
out
a
arm,
single shot?
single shot, bolt action. Yep.
Okay, single shot. All right.
Yep.
All right. So this one was kind of a big announcement because it's two big brands. People may have heard about it. The Aimpoint and Glock collab.
Oh, I'm not hurt.
So Aimpoint releases a new red dot optic in collaboration with Glock. Um, it's using the new Aimpoint A-cut interface. And so the idea is it's a red dot optic optimized for concealed carry pistols, and it's available with this A-cut interface, which is only available on Glocks right now. So Glock 43X, 48, G19, Gen 5, G45, and a G47. The
So,
idea
how do you
is,
feel about exclusivity like that in that kind of gun?
I mean, I worry because I don't think consumers like exclusivity. Of course, Glock may be a big enough audience where it's like, okay, fine. The Glock people will be okay with it, and maybe that's enough people to make it worthwhile.
I mean,
And it
that's
probably
total
it's a
view.
limited exclusivity, right? It's probably for a year or two
That's
that,
what I
and
was
then
thinking.
and then it'll be
Introductory.
out there. But
Yeah.
this Aimpoint A-cut interface mounting system allows for the sight to be mounted deeper into the pistol slide for extreme stability. Geez, I can't talk. Stability and durability. Don't try to say those together. You can't say
Availability.
two words at the same time. Apparently, but it's kind of interesting. I think the idea of there's just we're pushing the envelope of red dots, and the idea of like, let's get this mounted even lower onto the gun. It's not sticking up as much. It's
Right.
a more natural point of aim for people. Those are great things. Here's a question for you, Nick.
Okay.
At what point are we going to see a brand new firearm that has a red dot built in? It is not removable.
Those exist in rifle form. I've seen an Israeli rifle, and there's a couple other ones that have the optic built in. I
It's
can't
built
think
into
of
the
them right.
gun.
Yeah, I can't think of them right this second off the top of my head.
Mm.
But I know in my time I've laid hands on guns that have the way they have like different models. They had one that was a flat top, and then there was one with it was a full carry handle that had the scope built in it.
Oh yeah.
And
Why
if
not? I mean,
yeah,
at some point, I mean, we're already to the point of people building guns or running pistols without iron sights. It's
right,
just a red dot. There is no other sighting system on it. And you're like, well, don't you want a backup? Well, you don't have a backup when you have iron sights. And if the red dot is reliable enough,
right,
or what about an etched reticle that there's still a reticle through a dot? You can have it turned on or turned off.
right, right.
Now it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Like, oh, batteries could go out. Well, you still have an aiming point. I
right.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you can incorporate something you don't have to use batteries for on,
Yeah.
if you do, like you said, people are all hung up on, well, what if the battery dies? I don't know about you, but if I'm carrying a gun or, a scope for a match or something, I'm always checking batteries for that stuff. But I
Yeah.
realize I'm probably not the most common with that.
You should definitely check it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like checking your carry gun to be, if is it loaded.
Does it have bullets?
Does it have does it have the bullets?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to forget your battery and you don't have a backup, then yeah. So I mean, I think it depends on the person, honestly.
Also, if you've ever done a red dot class or just worked with somebody who's really experienced, there's a lot of stuff you can do with occluded occluded red dots. So you can cover up the front of the red dot. So you're seeing the dot, but you're not seeing through the dot. You can cover the back of it. So you're not even seeing the aiming point, but you can kind of use that as a reference. And you can get hits at like self-defense distances very consistently, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. It's the first time somebody showed me how the cover, it was a red dot on a rifle, but I mean, same thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why is my brain doing that?
All right, we got more coming. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You know that Silencer Central makes it easy to buy silencers, but they also have their whole line of Banish suppressors, and the newest one is the Banish Speed K TI. TI for titanium. Extremely lightweight and compact. This is a really cool, ultra compact 223 556 dedicated silencer. Weighs only 8.6 ounces. It's 4 inches long, and it has controlled flow technology. We have used this on the range. We've been impressed at how light it is. Doesn't change the weight and balance of the gun, and also still very quiet. The Banish Speed K TI from Silencer Central. Range Ready is where we run our classes, rangereadystudios.com. So go over there to check out the classes and events that we have going on. We've got the Savage Concealed Carry Experience. Oops, sold out. We've got the Crimson Trace Laser Handgun Experience. Oops, that's sold out too. These things go fast. Another little known thing about Range Ready is we will provide you a pistol if you need one for running a class, or even an AR. And HK is one of our partners on that. VP Series pistols available for student use when you sign up, and there's no charge for that. We don't rent you a gun and there's an upcharge. It's just available for your use. So it's a pretty cool deal. Go check it out, rangereadystudios.com. Colt revolvers stand the test of time, and they've added more to the lineup. The Colt Grizzly is a rugged .357 Magnum 6-shot revolver featuring stainless steel construction and adjustable sights. The Colt Kodiak is your ultimate companion for big game hunting or backcountry carry in .44 Magnum with a 4.25-inch ported barrel. See the Colt revolver line at Colt.com. For cleaning or maintenance, the Tipton Best Gun Vise 360 sets the benchmark. The ball head accommodates any conceivable configuration. Swappable jaw pads optimize the grip on your gun without the risk of marring. To see the Tipton Best Gun Vise 360 in action, visit TiptonClean.com. New Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 bridges the gap between a gun that's easy to carry and one that's easy to shoot. Small and lightweight at only 9.8 ounces, but plenty of .380 auto with 10 and 12 round magazines. See the new Bodyguard at smith-wesson.com. All right, we're back. Let's keep rolling. Nick, what else you got? New stuff.
All right, here we go. Next note card. This is number 3. The Franklin 22 EZ drop-in binary trigger for a 1022. Now, I know we've had some experience with that on Gun Talk several times, and we know Franklin well. And I've known Franklin and Jay for a long time, just doing the things that I've done. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, they've done another binary trigger, because they've got so many of them now. It's almost, I say it like that. It's a really cool thing, but they do a lot of them. So, but this one caught my eye because it's in a polymer cassette instead of an aluminum cassette.
Yep.
And instead of it being $469, it's $369. Now, everybody stop for a second and remember how much you paid for that 1022.
Don't think about that.
Nah, but can you put a price on fun? Because
apparently it's $369.
I was going to say, depending on what you want. If you're into aluminum, though, they still offer their 22 Plinkster, which is the same thing, but an aluminum cassette, and that's $469. So I thought that was good, because I'm a guy that's always looking for the value. So having that $100 cheaper, and some guns, it really doesn't matter what the cassette's in, because one, there's really nowhere for it to go, or they're not getting that much abuse, so it really doesn't matter. The only thing that's going to affect it is temperature, really, at that point, and maintenance. So I think it's cool.
And $100 will buy you like 1,000 rounds of 22, maybe more.
Right, that's an afternoon.
Yeah, that's a whole afternoon. And I've told people before, the Franklin Army 1022 binary trigger, to me, is probably the most fun binary that they do. It's the best application of it because it's
I
like
do too.
because you're going to burn through ammo regardless, and this is
Right.
the cheapest ammo you're going to be shooting. It's just super fun to have that capability. Also, some of the binary triggers had a lot of parts,
Sure.
so having this
So,
kind of like pre-assembled in a little kit that you drop in, love that.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you've ever done triggers that have a lot of parts, which I have, they're not easy, a lot of them. And even some of them that are supposed to be easy aren't really that easy. But these drop-ins, I mean, they just changed the world when they came out with those.
Yeah.
And Franklin, like I said, always puts out good stuff.
Yeah, they do. All right. So this is a company I haven't had a lot of experience with, and I'm gonna stop by to see their stuff and see this gun, Rate. So Rate, I hope I'm saying that right. Rate USA. They make shotguns, but they have a new pistol called the RXP 22. They're calling it the ultimate training pistol. And it's not a tiny 22 pistol. It's a polymer chassis, aluminum alloy internal frame, more like a self defense type gun, but it is in 22. Comes with two magazines, two 13-round magazines. The gun only weighs 1 pound 8 ounces, which is kind of
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Glock sights, Glock compatible front fiber optic True Glow, optic cut for RMR and RMSC optics.
Wow.
MSRP is 279. So you'll probably be able to buy this thing for 250 or less.
Oh
So
yeah.
kind of neat as far as like, okay, I could run it with a red dot. I can get a lot of trigger time. I haven't shot it yet. I haven't messed with it, but I'm kind of interested to see that.
Yeah, that's cool. And just like talking about the 1022, anytime you can get somebody that's new and put a 22 in their hands and they can hit targets and have fun and it's not too loud, especially when you get somebody that's kind of timid. My mom was not a shooter growing up. Like she told me
Yeah.
my whole life, stay away from guns. And I didn't get into it till after I moved out of the house. I mean, true story. And now
Mm-hmm.
she's perfectly fine with it. Obviously, I've been doing it a long time and we've done classes together and stuff. But I mean, you get somebody like that out there the first time, and I handed her my 1022 and just let her shoot, and you're not getting any recoil, you're hitting the
Yeah.
steel. It was just a good day. So anytime you can get that out for less than $300, I say go for it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'll give you one more, just a quickie, because it's not a
Okay.
big thing, but sorry. Zeiss. If
Hmm.
you got like too much money in your pockets, right? Um,
Sure.
they added a 15 by 56 Conquest HDX binos. So a 15 power bino kind of lets you maybe not need the spotting scope, perhaps. You don't,
Yeah.
kind of does two duties. There's also a version that has an MRAD reticle in it. So great for competitive shooting. Now that one it's $2,000 for a set of binoculars, but
Yeah.
we know it's going to be good. It's Zeiss.
Yeah. I was really surprised at how much difference there was between the average binocular that we all have, and then something like that. And
Yeah,
the answer is a lot. It's
yeah.
huge.
They all make that far thing look bigger, but these are really really clear, and especially if you're going to be spending a lot of time
Looking through
looking
them.
through binos on a hunt or at a competition, good ones make a difference.
Yeah, they do. And at nighttime, or right at the edge of dark, or right when the sun's coming up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look through one cheap pair, then grab the other ones, and you're gonna go, "Oh, this is where the money went."
Yeah, yeah, totally.
All right, number 4. This one is my budget version. Actually, 4 and 5 are the same thing, but this is the budget version. Springfield Prodigy Compact. Now,
Yep.
I'm big into these double stack 1911s, and I wasn't a year ago until Mac dropped theirs, and now I've had one for a few months, and I've played with it, and I like it a
Oh, you're a
lot.
convert.
I've I've always liked 1911s. When we introduced them, that was the gun that felt the most comfortable in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I shot an M&P in competition forever because that was the closest grip angle. I mean, so when these came out, I got one, and the price was right. And now Springfield has come out with one. They're compact, so
Yep.
that made me think to myself, do I want to carry one of these all the time?
I want to get into this. So I've got this one in my stack, and if the other one is in the same category, I probably have that one in my stack too. Um, double stack 1911s, super cool, super fun to shoot. Would you carry it though?
I am and I'm a good sized fella, and I'm of the school of I'm good with, a 43X or a 365 or
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines. I just can't see myself carrying a gun that size, that bulky. Um, I would print because, muffin top, but the smaller pistols are better for me to carry. But I think this is cool because I know there are people that carry them, and there are
Yeah,
dudes that carry them appendix,
they
you
do.
know, and I
Some
would
people
never
can do
be
it.
able to do this.
Well, it's gonna be it's gonna be a heavier gun. It's weighing. Let's see here. Prodigy Compact are as light as possible. The 3.5-inch model weighing 25.5 ounces. The 4.25-inch model weighing 29 ounces. So it's a pound and a half of gun.
Mm-hmm. And if
Right,
you've ever
almost 2 pounds of gun with a 4.25.
carried a 1911, even a small one, it does weigh down on your britches a little bit. Like you better have a good belt on. You ain't gonna do
Do
this
they,
with your pants.
Nick? Do you think they sell this gun with some suspenders,
I
some
hope so.
Springfield Armory suspenders?
Appendix suspenders.
We know this
I hope
gun's
so.
heavy. Here's
Yeah.
some branded SA
There's a
suspenders for you.
brace that you can use, but there are suspenders. Yes. That's awesome.
It's just interesting. All right, you know what? Because I'm, we're just gonna stay on this topic. If you said it's
Might
the
as
same
well.
category, tell me what you
Might as
got on
well.
your next one.
Next one, number 5, is of course staccato with the
Yeah.
H. What kind of so I want to say cool, it takes Glock mags. And then I say, okay, why?
You
One,
know what else takes Glock mags?
Glocks and a
Glocks.
whole slew of other guns right now. But
Yeah.
so the only thing I can honestly come up with is the mags for double stack 1911s are not cheap. If you want to buy, especially if you want to shoot competitively, like one of the 20 rounders or something like that, you're looking at over $100 for a magazine.
For a magazine.
For a magazine, yeah.
It's crazy.
There's only a couple people that do it right. There's others out there that are cheaper, but
They say
even
mags are really hard to do right.
right, and the companies that make them that are the lesser brand or the lesser reputation, they just don't always work. So you don't want to get stuck in a match. Well, it doesn't really matter as much, but to me, but I know people who are there to win that they don't want to take that chance in the middle of a match, or if you're carrying it for protection or whatever.
So, I mean, it's in their press release. It tells you why, right? Born out of the direct feedback from Staccato's elite law enforcement and government end users, Staccato HD incorporates a wide variety of new features and technology, resulting in the most technology advanced 2011 pistol brought to market. So, the HD grips module is built around the Glock pattern magazine. Here's the key: already widely used by law enforcement community. So
Right.
Staccato has been going pretty hard into trying to sell their
Yes,
guns to law enforcement. And probably that's a big objection. Law enforcement's like, hey, we already have all these magazines
yep.
and we don't want to have to switch.
Yeah.
And we certainly don't want to have to buy, an extra $300 or $400 for every single officer on our force to make this switch. Now, I know Staccatos are really nice guns.
Very nice.
I know that people who can shoot those great.
Yeah, true.
But I'm not sure about law enforcement carrying staccatos.
I think there's a dedicated portion of law enforcement that would benefit from staccato.
Yes. Look,
But your
I want my law
average guy,
enforcement. I want my guys to be freaking rocking. I want them to be safe, but I also want them to be able to put hits on target quickly
all
and
the time.
accurately all the time, right? So I think you're on the right track. I think I agree. They say in here elite law enforcement. So perhaps that means SWAT, that means feds, that means people who get to train a lot. And
Right.
if you're getting to train a lot, you're used to running a thumb safety, and it's
Second nature.
subconscious for you. It's no problem, right? You're
Right.
used to a lighter trigger like a 2011. Cool. But as far as any regular cop that only quals once a year, no.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Absolutely
don't
not.
think your state troopers are going to carry these. You know what I mean? They're not going to outfit 1,000 or 3,000. In Kentucky, I think it's like 3,000 cops or whatever.
I
For
mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Staccato would like to sell
oh
3,000
yeah,
guns to,
absolutely.
the state of Kentucky, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm
Right.
not trying to pick on
Your question
Staccato.
is
I just
training.
know what the training
Yeah,
regimen is for
yeah,
law
exactly.
enforcement.
Yeah, and the budget. I mean, they don't have a budget, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, that is true.
And
2011s, man.
they're cool. They are
They're
cool.
cool.
Bang. They're going to get attention when you see them. But like you said, those 24.99 was a
Yeah,
sticker on this.
yeah,
So that's not just it's not the change out of your ashtray.
yeah, exactly. Now the Prodigy, it's one reason why people love it. That Prodigy Compact is, I think it's 1,500
15.
bucks.
Yep. That's it.
So, I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Mm.
Obviously, you mentioned SDS, Mac, Mac and TSOS. They have theirs that are very attractively priced,
Yeah. And
and
then I
they
heard
run.
that they run. Well, I know they run great. I know several people now that have them, and in fact, I have one sitting right there. But like I said, I talked to Gaines earlier, and he said that their new thing for this year is basically they're going through and beefing up the TSOS line, so their double stack pistols are going to be right on par with the Mac brand.
Cool. That's
So there's
awesome.
another, just talking about 2011, or I'm sorry, double stack 1911s. Another, everybody's going after that market. It's a good market. If you get
Does
into them, they're
someone,
a lot of fun.
Nick, does somebody own the name 2011?
Yes, Staccato owns the name 2011.
Okay, so we're using that like as a category, but that's actually sort of a brand that they own or a
Right,
trademark.
right. And I only learned that last year when Mac released theirs because I said 2011. They all said no, you can't say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
I felt like I had heard that somewhere.
Yep.
I got a couple more we can kind of move through quickly.
Sure.
Just and I guess some of this gets into like just being a gun nerd, and I just like to see some of this stuff. Like so, Remington Ammo, Big Green,
Mm.
they announced a bunch of new products, and some of this stuff is just fun. They reintroduced a 22 short round because I mean, those of us who grew up with guns, dude, 22 short, it's so fun,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
fun.
it's barely a cap.
Yeah. Um, so they have a new line, a 27 grain hollow point and a 29 grain round nose. So that's fun.
That's Yeah. I'm going to be honest. There's a little history with Old Big Timber. Is my first gun was an Astra Cub that shot 22 short.
There you go.
First pistol I ever bought at a gun show. Cost, cost me $25.
Are you serious?
Yep.
25 bucks.
That was
Good old
22
days.
years ago.
The good old days.
That's right.
They also have a new wheel gun 22 designed for low noise output, optimal performance, and any favorite 22 revolver. Probably kind of, I mean, they're not saying here that it's subsonic, but probably a lower pressure round because if it's a wheel gun, they don't need it to be higher pressure to run a semi-auto. So you can kind of
Right.
get away with it being, maybe it is subsonic. It's smaller.
I wonder if that's just the way it is, and they're marketing it that way.
Maybe.
'Cause you don't have to have it. You're right. You don't have to have as much to run. So why not?
Yeah.
Interesting
Other
thought.
stuff that I kind of highlighted here. They also, as far as centerfire rifle, core locked, tipped lever gun product line. Lever actions are just hot right now, and so they've brought this out with 6 cartridge options and polymer tip bullet. That's helpful for giving you a little bit more ballistic ability in a lever
Right.
gun.
Right. Yeah, because those are big bullets.
Yeah, yeah. And then I've got, staying in the lever gun family, this is just, people may have heard, Smith & Wesson, the model 1854, the lever gun they announced last year, now available in 357 Magnum.
Saw that. That's
Everybody
cool.
loves that.
Yep.
That's fun.
I gotta get behind a lever action. I've actually really never shot. I mean, I've shot them, but I've never really played with them.
Yeah, spent like a lot of time.
Yeah.
Savage has a couple new lever guns that are in 22, so those are like pretty affordable and fun
Okay. That's a good
plinking
place to start.
guns.
Yeah.
Brownells. So I wanted to bring this up. This is really just an extension of the BRN 180 line. This is their Gen 3,
Very
but I want to
guys.
bring it up because you're one of my like go-to AR expert type guys. And there's some stuff in here, some features that I'm like, wait, what? What are they doing?
Okay. Yep.
So the BRN 180, it's key features and upgrades. Okay,
Okay.
non-reciprocating left side charging handle. Okay, cool, pretty straightforward. Redesigned easy adjust gas system. Okay, cool. You can adjust for shooting suppressed, unsuppressed, and you can reach it through the handguard. That's
Fine.
helpful.
That is helpful.
Um, but there's three features here that I'm like, wait, what? Automatic ejection port cover.
So it closes automatically or it opens automatically?
This design attaches to the cover this attaches the cover to the bolt carrier assembly, sealing the ejection port when the bolt is forward, providing protection against dust and debris without manual manipulation.
I would have to see that.
Okay. Nick's like, wait a minute. All right, here's the next one.
Okay.
Rubber dust cover. It is sealed with a special Swiss-inspired rubber gasket that lets the handle move freely while keeping foreign matter out.
So you could cycle it with the door closed
Perhaps.
because once again, that's the point of the dust cut. Well, not exactly. I should say that in an AR, it pops open when you start shooting, when you
Right.
charge it the first time.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, yeah, go
And then
ahead.
this other one is anti-bounce bolt carrier. Geometry is designed to prevent light primer strikes, improving reliability in all conditions. Thoughts?
That's a thing.
Okay.
So carrier bounce is a thing. Usually it happens in shorter barrels, and when they're violently recoiling shorter. Short barrels have short gas systems, so the recoil is more violent.
Yeah.
And sometimes when that happens, it basically causes the gun to jam up. You get double feeds and things like that, or it'll make it to where basically your timing is off, and so when it bounces, that the hammer doesn't reset.
Oh,
So
okay.
you get a dead trigger then the next time. So it is a thing. So it's not something that we ran into a lot. I mean, I've shot a lot of AR pistols and I've rarely run it. Like I only remember really dealing with it early on when pistols first started coming on.
That was the Wild West back
That
then.
was back when
AR
things,
pistols,
yeah,
the
they were
nub.
wild looking.
Well, and so just this BRN 180 from Brownells, it's the Gen 3, available in three configurations right now. You've got a 223 wild upper, 16-inch.
Okay.
You've got a 13.9-inch 223 wild upper, and then you've got a 300 blackout 9-inch upper.
Okay.
So,
Those are cool. I mean, here's the thing: the BRN 180 platform. If you have an AR lower, you can buy that upper. Then your lower also can have a folder because you don't have to worry about the reciprocating bolt.
yeah,
So there
I guess
is some
I'm kind of
advantage to it.
glossing over that because there were some new
Yeah.
features, but that's the deal, right?
Yep, that's the whole point. And the non-reciprocating bolt, that's a good thing because that was kind of annoying because I have one of the earlier ones that they sent us for pictures on some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a little weird when I was cycling it and trying to mess with it. And then I was kind of doing whoa, watch out. So
Yeah.
that's cool. But yeah, it is a cool platform. And I know a lot of people that really like them. They're piston driven and people dig that. But I'm an AR guy and I have been for a long time. So it was cool that I like to see people coming up with new stuff, even though you think there's really nothing else you can do to this platform.
Yeah.
Kudos to them for forward thinking still.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I got, man. Anything else you want to add?
No, man, that's everything. Well, not everything, but those were the top five that really piqued my interest. There was a lot of things out there I saw. Actually, right now, I'm down. If anybody wants to send me some heated clothing, it is cold here. It is cold. Like I think it's 8 right now in Kentucky. So
It's 8. When
you
you
know,
start talking about single digits as a temperature, I'm just like,
dude,
what are we talking about here? People live here? What are you
yeah.
talking about?
And it's Kentucky though. It's not like that most of the time. So you think, yeah, I can buy that Mustang. It'll go all year long. And
Right.
then sometimes it don't.
Well, Gun Talk, for you guys listening, Gun Talk will be at SHOT Show all next week, and we'll be releasing, man, guys, like literally, like we'll do like 25 different interviews, 25 different companies. These videos are going to be coming out. Tom Gresham will be doing Gun Talk from the Caldwell booth, and then we'll
Cool.
release another episode from the Ruger booth, and I think we've got 9 to 10 different guests in each one of those shows, so it's going to be packed next week, and actually for the next couple weeks. So pay attention to us. Nick, thanks for being on Gun Talk Nation, man.
Man, I love it. I appreciate it. Keep on reading. I'll have an article, top five every week.
He's Mr. Top 5. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Gun Talk Nation.